Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is game 2 this evening, an adventure I've entitled A Drop in the Bucket. But before we dive into this adventure, I just want to take a quick moment to introduce our four player character. Well, actually, I did this before. I'm going to do it again. So we're going to introduce you guys a little bit in a little bit of an unorthodox manner. You find yourselves in the city-state of Montag. It is a kind of scenic, kind of countryside city, much more medieval than a lot of Lands of DnDTime. Cobbled streets and cobblestone buildings, thatched roofs, peasants going about selling their wares, doing what menial tasks they have to do for the day. The four of you, however, are waiting. You're waiting outside of a tavern called the Leaky Bucket. You were sent here by Bartholomew with the purpose of meeting someone here under a condition of anonymity. I guess they're very, anxious about something and needed Bartholomew's adventurers right away. But the tavern's closed. So what are the four of you doing as we kind of come into this scene where you're all waiting around outside this closed tavern for your contact to meet? Let's start with you, Othgarurt. What do we see of Othgarurt Charirgix with their grandiose bone armor and everything?
Fresh bone weapons. Good for killing things that do not die easy. Never get murdered at night again. Get your bone weapons here.
You can see that there are a handful of adventurers around, as specifically this tavern is a hotspot for adventurers going through Montag, known for its countryside of vicious monsters. And so there are people coming in and they're like, yeah, so where are these made?
I produce them myself.
What do you have? You got any knives? Good knives?
I have daggers. I have javelin.
Can I see the dagger?
Yes, it is fine bone dagger. Very good at stabbing.
Balances it on his hand. Yeah, well balanced. What's it made of? Within?
It is made of ancient bone. Sturdy, long-lasting, cannot be eaten by rust.
I don't need no generic bone daggers. He hands it back to you.
This is no generic dagger.
Meanwhile, Nijel, where are you as in amongst the group of adventurers waiting to get into this tavern?
Not one to be kept waiting, standing about awkwardly. I've found my own way in, and I'm currently sitting in the empty tavern, enjoying a drink, waiting on whatever is supposed to be meeting us.
Okay. We'll come back to you then, Nijel. Michael, where are you in this moment? You and Sarge, I'm sorry. You and your friend and companion.
We're just chilling. And
you just hanging out, talking to people?
Yeah, just talking to people because, of course, people love me and recognize me sometimes.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, but these adventurers definitely recognize you all to some degree. I mean, they're adventurers. They're in the adventuring market. Not in Bartholomew's company, which is weird. Many of you probably didn't even realize there were other adventuring companies. But, yeah, I mean, a couple of them definitely recognize you, and they're like, hey, can I hold your sword? The legendary Verity.
No thanks. I'd rather not.
All right. And, there's some kind of conversation like that. And Euchaunkas, where are you?
I am walking around looking under, buckets and barrels.
Mm-hmm. There are definitely buckets and barrels around.
Yeah, I'm just peeling them open, looking inside, yelling, switch! And then, ideal! Guys have been coming out of these pods for a month! Just, looking around.
Yep. You go ahead, there's one bucket that's hanging from, a board that just sticks out over the door of the tavern. And you go and look at it, and there's a big hole in the bottom. Why would you need a bucket with a hole in the... Why would you hang it up above the door to the tavern? Anyway, ridiculously placed. Nijel, so you've gone up to the door and are trying to kind of force it a little bit.
Indeed.
Just to go inside. Yeah, so I imagine you kind of jam your sword blade into it and kind of you hear a cracking of wood, a little splintering, and most of the people have just kind of stayed back a little bit. They're giving you some breadth here. And the door snaps open. You kind of have broken the main bearing, but it only opens like maybe an inch and a half, 2 inches, as it gets caught on one of those little tiny chains that you would put over and lock into the door. And so as you kind of peel back to, elbow it open and push it, you hear some like heavy footfalls coming from within the building. And as you hit, do you stop or do you still hit the door and kind of push it open all the way?
If the footsteps manage to reach the door before my foot does, then I'll allow them to open it for me.
All right, I would like you to roll an athletics check as you go to kick open this door the rest of the way. Excellent. So, Nijel, you go to kick the door, and the door kind of like, you hear some like twisting of metal as that like little chain that would keep it locked does, warp and stretch out a little bit. Maybe even some of these nails or something holding it in place come out of the wood. But then the door hits something else, something very solid, and it hurts like hell, as it feels like you just kicked a brick wall. And keep your composure, as you are the Dread Emperor. And you hear these big lumbering footfalls from inside, and you see kind of peering through that kind of 2-inch gap, a gargantuan thing. They have to be 8.5 feet tall. And though they can't be seen very clearly through the darkness within the building, they are at least visible enough. You can tell that they are some sort of half giant, maybe an ogre or something. They have a kind of grayish skin with just little bits of brown and maybe like a hint of green in it. They're wearing something of almost like a toga of leather, but on top of that, an apron, and just a white apron. And this figure kind of looks through the little crack, large eyes peering through, and they see you. And a voice calls out, "Oh, it's you! Just a sec!" And the door closes. You hear a click of like the chain being unlatched, and then the door opens. And it only opens maybe 2-3 feet, enough for you to scoot in. And you can't see the figure like super well. They're trying to like keep out of sight. But yeah, you see a large half-ogre, or maybe a full ogre, kind of hard to tell. He's got like a huge, like a horse's mane of black hair that goes down to about mid-back. And otherwise, he looks like an ogre. Hey, you come in. Bring your
There we
friends.
go. I will step through and kind of pause to give the beckoning motion and continue on.
All right. The lot of you head inside, I assume.
Oh, crap. I wanted to do an adventure.
You head inside, leaving behind the peasants and the rabble of adventurers outside, and find yourselves in a dark room. It's a tavern. There are chairs and tables about. There's like a single candle that's on a little candlestick sitting on the counter of the tavern, up at the bar. You can see that there are a couple of shelves up behind the bar where they have various bottles of liqueurs and other drinks. It's mostly whiskey. It's almost entirely whiskey. But the only thing that really seems like weird here is on one side of the wall, there's a board with a bunch of like notices thumbtacked to it, basically. And on the shelves that have the whiskey, on the bottom shelf, there's just like 3 big lumps of coal stuck up on the shelf. And the coal has like smiley faces painted onto it in white paint. But that's all that's really out of the ordinary besides the ogre barkeeper. And as you all kind of come through, he lets you all in, and then a couple of the other people try and like trail in behind you, and he just closes the door on them. says, "Ugh. Hi. I'm Bucket."
Hello.
Hello, I am Othgarurt Charirgix.
It's nice to meet you.
Hello, Bucket. Something from the top shelf, if you would be so kind.
He kind of like looks at you and like breathes in heavily, and you sense like there's like a docileness in his just state of being. He's a very gentle looking creature, but you catch like a hint of just like almost anger as he breathes out, and there's almost a menace to him. He's, yeah, okay, no problem. I'll go get it. He walks over and grabs one of the bottles off and just kind of puts it down on the counter. And as he does so, it just shatters as he just slams it on the counter too hard. And goes, I'm broken. I got another one. He reaches up and more carefully puts it down. Okay, there's your drink.
So what can we do for you, Sir Bucket?
I got a problem. I'm really hangry.
Oh, I've been there.
You know, I do my best to run the tavern and to, be good and everything's normally great, but I got this big plate of spaghetti, and he kind of like gestures toward further down on the bar. And sure, there's a big plate of what looks like spaghetti, a couple big meatballs sticking up. Like, I really want to eat it, but I lost my spaghetti fork. And I'm getting, I get a little angry when I get hungry. And it just looks like such good spaghetti.
I as I think about this, I think about face palming to myself.
Well, do you know where you might have left it?
Yeah, I know where I dropped it. I was feeding my fishies and I dropped it in the barrel.
So it can't be that hard to get the fork then, right?
Bucket just kind of like looks at you and blinks. Yeah, it's gonna be easy.
Wait. What about a new fork?
There's a very special spaghetti fork. My friend Butch made it for me.
As a
Maybe because he
question,
knows
where
how
are
much I love spaghetti.
Okay, what if we went and got a fork from Butch?
Butch doesn't hang out around here. He's somewhere else.
So where is said buckets
Also,
of fishy?
I couldn't replace. Then Butch would know I lost his spaghetti fork.
So
I understand. Take us to where you dropped the fork.
Uh-huh. He kind of turns toward you, Michael. What were you saying?
I was just gonna say where are the buckets?
It's not a bucket, it's a barrel.
Barrel, my bad.
He goes, it's over this way. And he lumbers past toward a fairly small kind of hallway leading further back into the tavern. It's probably like a bath that have like the single bath chamber here, where there's probably like some buckets you sit and throw it out a window. But there's also some barrels that he's got to kind of turn to squeeze by. He's large, very large. This ogre, and his hair is perfect. It's just a beautiful, glistening mane. It's like it's straight off a stallion, which is really weird on this big ogre. But he strolls past you and heads down this little tight passageway, only about 10 feet, and kind of gestures to one of the doors. I keep it in there. And he kind of fumbles around in his toga and his leather kind of hide toga and pulls out a big brass key and sticks it in the door handle and click. And as he does that, you see there's like a wave of kind of blue ethereal energy that kind of goes over the door as if there's some kind of magic that was protecting it as well. And the door opens About an inch. All right. Good luck.
Okay, let's go find this fork.
What's up with these fish?
They're my friends.
I'm
What's
just gonna
up with
walk.
the door?
I just don't want anyone to bother my fishies.
I'm just gonna
People
walk
come
in.
back through here because they
Straight
gotta go
up.
to the bathroom over there. And he points to the door on the other side of the hall. It's like, that was the bathroom. All right, Michael, as you lead the way, you walk into this chamber, and this room is maybe like 20 by 20 feet. It's a fairly sizable room, and it's empty. There's nothing. It is wooden floorboards, bare walls, bare ceiling. There are no crates. There's nothing stacked up or supplied in here, which is strange despite how crowded that hallway was with stuff. And there's a single barrel in the very middle of the room.
I'm going to
Dull
look at this.
iron bands. Yeah.
I'm going to look at the barrel. Going to this barrel.
You just go right up to approach it.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone else want to head into the room?
I'm gonna wait and watch.
Okay. Yeah, it's a very like, well, this room is totally empty. This is whack kind of moment.
I will stand on the other side of the door of Euchaunkas and also watch.
Okay. So just inside, but you're not going anywhere near the barrel.
How big is this barrel?
It's I don't know, it's barrel sized. It's like, I don't know, 2.5 feet in diameter, 4 feet tall, maybe. I don't know how big barrels are.
And could I open this?
Yeah, actually about it's about 3 feet tall and 2 feet wide is your typical. So, could you open it? It's open. There's no lid on it.
I look inside the barrel.
Yeah, you go ahead and you look in, and it's about the size of like a cask of like of ale or something that your character would know. It's hard for me to like tell you inside. I mean, it goes like it's big. It's a big barrel. Yeah, you look into it, and it's filled with water. You see that there's some like rocks in it. Rocks go maybe about, I don't know, halfway up on the inside. It looks like just random rocks have been tossed in here without care. And you see some minnows swimming around.
Nothing that looks like a fork or any metal in there.
Roll me a perception check.
1 second.
As a quick question to Nijel. Nijel, I saw that you pounded your drink. Did you just, because he gave you the whole bottle, did you just take the bottle with you, or did you just chug the bottle?
Oh, I poured myself a drink in a glass.
Excellent. Michael, yeah, you're looking in, and yeah, there's a small, looks like a hint of brass. Looks like it's jammed up in some of the rocks.
I have Sarge go in there and use his strength of his arms to reach in and grab.
As soon as Sarge touches the surface of the water, he's gone. Sarge,
Define gone, like he just
disappeared.
poofed? He poofed?
There's no like poof. There's no like whoosh of magic. He's just gone.
Hold up! What, Sarge, where'd you go? And I just start panicking. What's in this water?
They're my friends.
Why did the water make my friend disappear?
I don't know. He probably went in the water to go say hi to the fish.
Well,
I hate you.
That's not very nice. I don't like that people don't like me.
Well, I'm not gonna
I'm a
leave my
very
friend
likable
Sarge
person.
behind, so I'm just gonna reach my hand into the water and
You just
gone.
Yep. See Michael Verity, gone.
Oh, I see. It is one of those days.
After saying that, Othgarurt will just walk into the room and stick his head into the water.
Your head first.
Yes.
Okay, you disappear.
Euchaunkas, you don't happen to have any cloud breathing magic. I get the feeling there's going to be a lot of water in this.
Oh, I do. It just only works on me. Really, it's Bill breathing magic. Wait, you do too.
Right, but those others are probably
they're
going to be in a
screwed.
bit of a panic. Yeah. Well, on we go, I suppose.
Yep.
I will go in and thrust my arm into the bucket.
Gone. You chunk through the last.
I could just walk up and touch it.
Okay, and with that, you two disappear. You find yourselves in a strange place. It's light, as if some sort of light shines from above, refracted by the water around you. You feel it's cool, but not uncomfortably so. And as you kind of get your wits about you and look around, you're in a strange world. Everything is much, much larger. You see what seem to be disregarded rocks are the sides of massive stone undersea canyons and ravines that just go down and down and down into oblivion. You can see there are sides to this place. However, they're so far apart. It would take you maybe an hour probably to get to the other side, assuming you were walking. It's so distant. And
Are we on solid ground or are we in water?
you're floating in water. You see all around you fish swimming around. They're large, though. They aren't tiny. And they're a little strange. You see one fish swimming around, and he's got a big beard and a hat. You see another couple fish swimming around, and they have a little stroller that has a baby fish in it that they're pushing with their little fins as they kick around. And as you look at each other, you're all fish, but slightly different.
We
I'm
all
wondering-
turned into fish?
So as you look around, we'll start with Sarge. Sarge looks like a fish, except that he's got these big blades sticking out where his fins should be. Othgarurt, what's different about fish Othgarurt that everyone else could see that would be very apparent?
Very barracuda-like.
So he's just got he's got like almost like an extended lizard folk-y kind of mouth for biting.
Yes.
Excellent. Does he have different like colorations?
He's still his strange teal coloration.
Excellent. Very strange looking minnow that just kind of has Othgarurt's face. Nijel, what does Nijel fish look like?
A solid black, almost shadow in the water angelfish.
Ooh, excellent. And Euchaunkas, what does Euchaunkas fish look like?
A small whale.
Tiny whale.
With Euchaunkas' horrifying teeth.
Beautiful. And Michael Verity, what is the Michael Verity fish? Does you just have your blue cape?
Yeah, basically it's just, imagine him in all of his armor, except he's a fish.
Yeah, it's a very armored fish. And as you're all just kind of floating there in the water, oh, you can breathe. All right, that's convenient. And a couple of the fish that are like swimming around, seemingly like doing their daily whatever, doing their normal things. One fish in particular begins to swim toward you. It's a little minnow. He's got a big long beard, and is wearing a kind of a simple hat of some kind. It's kind of almost like a pork pie hat kind of deal. Very flat brimmed, short top hat. And he's flying or swimming toward you rather. He is flanked by two other minnows, but they're carrying large spears in their fin. You all have your weapons and things like that, but it's kind of hard to use them with your tiny fins. And yes, this fish is swimming kind of right toward you. And he's going, oh, hello there. Swims right up over to you. Do you all want to do anything? You're just gonna let this guy approach you and talk to you.
Hi there. Where the heck are we and what happened to us?
Well, glub, glub, glub. You're in the bucket. Oh, yeah. You always said it's a barrel. I am the first.
Are you a person that was turned into a fish?
No, I was a minnow. Long ago, I was, and he kind of glassy-eyed starts talking about how he was found in a river, and then Bucket brought him into this barrel and taught him things, and yeah, kind of goes into this rambling story about how Bucket is like a god to him.
Oh god, they're all awakened fish.
And the guard fish seem like annoyed at this like, okay, all right, can we get to business first? And other first officials, oh yes, well, welcome. How long have you been fish?
We literally just turned into fish a couple seconds ago.
Yeah, about 5 minutes maybe, tops.
Wow, you're gonna love it here. It's wonderful. I'll tell you, I've lived in the stream, I've lived in the ocean. Nothing beats the barrel.
Actually, I really don't enjoy being a fish right now because we were actually just trying to get something out of this barrel.
You know, it's really quite fine here. Truly great. Do you know anywhere where there'd be a large brass artifact? We really enjoy seeing large brass objects in the scenery.
Are you patronizing me?
We're looking
Only
for
if you
Bucket's
see
fork.
through it.
Ah, yes, he dropped that yesterday when he was coming to feed us.
And he wants it to eat his spaghetti.
Ah, the spaghetti fork. Have you ever had spaghetti?
Yes, multiple times.
No.
No, I have
Pretty
not.
good.
No.
You should try it. He dropped some spaghetti in here. That's how he dropped the fork. Very tasty. Anyway, yes, it fell down there. And he kind of gestures with the fin, which is very hard. Yeah. And you just see like the dark, inky abyss below you. There's no discernible bottom to the barrel. And that might be because your perception is distorted as a fish, or it might just be an extra dimensionally insanely large barrel. You just gotta be careful.
So,
It's got some other friends down there that aren't so, I don't know, friendly.
so how do we get the fork out?
I don't know. We'll pick it up. Probably. Bucket didn't give you fins for nothing, he says, wiggling his fins around.
Wait. You think Bucket's a god?
Yes.
So what
Hold
I'm
me
getting, the
back,
vibe I'm
Michelle.
getting, the vibe I'm getting is that this bucket is magical, and thanks to Bucket, this barrel is magical, and it turned us into fish.
Yes, it's a barrel.
I
Yes,
hold you back.
I think so.
Yeah,
Well-
hold me back before I kill this fish.
I wouldn't be happy if you killed me. Please don't. I'm very old. I could die
Let's
at
not-
any moment.
Can we not kill the old fish, please?
I don't know.
Let's swim now.
He's
Let's-
worshiping a false god.
No,
Can you make an
no.
intimidation check?
Yeah.
Okay. Nijel's holding you back. So that's why it's a 3.
Mhm.
Otherwise it'd be way scarier. You go, oh. Well, I don't know what you want from me, I'm gonna go. If you need a house,
Yeah, you better go.
can always come over to that well, there's the wet bag. Sometimes I'm there, but there are others that live over by the old tin, and they can probably figure out a place for you to stay. Goodbye. He turns and starts swimming away. And the two
Goodbye.
guardfish start swimming after him.
Oh god. Okay then. I'm just gonna swim downward. Just keep swimming. Just keep.
I'm gonna have to come back to this barrel at some point and convert all these fish.
We are not. We are not turning ordinary fish into people. That is just very.
What? I'm not turning them into people. I'm converting them to the proper worship.
As you start swimming downward. Oh, I'm sorry. Is this conversation happening as you swim downward?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. What was that, Othgarurt?
Oh, yes, that's right. You worship the conch shell, yes?
Othgarurt,
What was that?
don't
I
push
am
your
sorry.
luck.
I am not very well informed on religion.
Cloud, the great big cloud, the greatest god of them all. The
And
only one
as
that's
you-
really a god.
As you keep swimming down,
Also
you can
big.
see there's a small shell that's like off on the side, kind of jammed into these rocks. You didn't see it when you were coming down, but it's like big now that you're a fish, like a tiny little minnow fish. And you can see that there's like a fish kind of sitting outside. Again, they're all seem to be like minnows or guppies or something here. They're all very small fish. And there's a fish kind of standing outside, and he's wearing what appears to be kind of like a blue frock and everything. And he's like, "Oh, one and all, please pray to the almighty conch who does guide us here in the fishy lands, second only to the mighty bucket above." And there are a couple other fish kind of listening into this sermon.
Well, apparently the fish know of land religions.
Well, technically, the conch is a sea religion. Anyway, I have to take care of this.
You wanna go
No,
swim
you
over?
don't. No,
he starts swimming over.
Okay, Euchaunkas veers off away from all of you toward the conch worshipping fish.
I have to stop him before he kills the conch worshipping fish.
So, Michael, you swim after. All right, everyone starts following after you, Euchaunkas, as you swim over these guys.
Mhm.
And praise, brothers, as that spirally wisdom does lead us to the correct points of conclusion of all things that are true here within the great barrel below and above and within. And they just keep kind of going off, just saying words. They kind of look around. And who are you, good sir, who does wish to speak?
I'm the high priest. Euchaunkas Ouwoupli. Bringer of Phil.
Kind of
We
blinks
lost-
sometimes.
We lost someone, by the way.
Oh, my goodness! Thank you for hitting me up and let me know. Who did we lose? Oh, we lost Lance. Hopefully, we can get him back shortly. He's having some problems with Discord. Thank you for the heads up, Mac.
Rip.
Sorry, go ahead. Euchaunkas.
Living in this barrel, you may not be informed, but the cloud is... Or the conch has, pledged its subservience to the cloud. And also, Bucket's not a god, he's just a man.
From where we are from, the Great Bucket is in fact a god. However,
Use a...
the worship to the cloud is over there, and he kind of points with his little fin across the way.
Oh, they worship the cloud here too. This is awkward.
Those fish had it right. Anyway, no, okay, the cloud's over there. It should also be over here.
But this is where the conch shell fell, where Bucket put it. to enlighten us of the holy ways.
Wait a second. I look at this conch.
Yeah.
I-
The big conch shell. Well, it's not like a huge conch shell, but it's like a decent sized conch shell. Come over to it.
Do I get the feeling this is a totally different conch-based religion?
Roll me a religion check. You look at it. Move your fin up to scratch your whale chin. Maybe. You're not sure. It could be. You don't know like all of the tenets super well about the conch, I think. You got the cloud down. What you say is the law. But with the conch, yeah, you're not sure if there's anything more to it than just there's a conch shell.
Why do you worship this shell?
Because the bucket put it here and told us about its wisdom.
He told you about its...
It has great magical powers. And he kind of goes over, watch, and he kind of swims over to the opening conch shell and goes, Bucket, how are you doing? And you hear a words kind of going, oh, hey, fishy, how's it going? Coming out from the conch shell. It allows us to commune with the bucket.
It's not a god. It's just a sending conch.
I'm pretty sure it's a magic shell.
It is a magic shell, but you don't worship just random everyday magic objects.
The shell just kind of look at each other.
As everyone's arguing about religion, can I see if there's anything that looks like brass?
You don't see anything. I mean, it was like pretty deep in there, and by your guesstimates, Michael, you have not swum down very far yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can swim down a little more. This argument's getting a little dumb for me.
Okay, Michael Verity starts. All right, swimming back down the other way.
Bucket, tell them you're not a god.
I'm a god, no. I'm Bucket.
What? No, you're not a god.
I am.
You're not a god.
Just ask Bartholomew. He'll tell you. Oh, wait. Actually, I forgot to ask earlier. Is he still evil?
Evil? What?
Yeah, Bartholomew. Is he still evil? This is all just coming out of the conch shell.
Evil
Hold
is
up.
a relative term.
Wait, hold up. Since when is Bartholomew evil? He's a businessman. What is he supposed to do?
You assume that businessmen aren't evil, Mr. Bear?
Are you saying these things into the shell?
I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head there by saying he's a businessman. Yeah, he's still evil.
Okay, I figured.
We will discuss this Bartholomew stuff later. Let's just go. Come on, we have a thing to find.
Yeah, go way back. He's super evil.
I am curious about something.
We can talk later. Get my spaghetti fork. And you hear the sound of like a phone hanging up coming through the shell.
If this shell is just a magic sending shell, what is the cloud down here?
Why do I imagine the cloud is just like a foggy portion of the barrel somewhere?
I move toward where the cloud worship is.
Or you want to swim down toward that other cave?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm swimming down, just straight down.
Yeah, as you swim down toward, I mean, it's still both. They're both in the same direction, basically. This area, yeah. You start swimming down, and Euchaunkas, you like kind of veer off a little bit toward where the guy pointing you, the fish pointing you toward the cloud area, leaving the conchers behind. You can see that there is what looks like a ship, but it's entirely encased within a bottle, like a giant glass bottle.
Mm.
And you can see that there's just a stream of bubbles kind of coming out of the opening to the bottle and just bubbling up. And then it stops. And there's no more bubble. And then a few minutes later, there's lots of bubbles.
Okay, I look
You
around.
see there's some fish swimming around inside the bottle, and they Most of them seem to be inside of the ship, though. It's a big ship in a bottle. Like, you could swim around it.
All right, well, I swim in.
Okay. Michael, are you still going to just swim down alone? What about Nijel and Othgarurt as well?
I'm swimming down because I don't want to deal with religion talk anymore. I don't like arguing about it. It's not worth my
Othgarurt
time.
was just really curious what the cloud looks like,
Uh-huh.
especially because Euchaunkas is here.
Okay. And Nijel?
I will also be going with Euchaunkas. Someone will have to hold him back. No sense in chumming the waters before we go to the depths.
So you swim on into the ship in a bottle, and it's like a shipwreck, like to like people size, about how huge it is. It's like a full size sailing. It's like a giant glass bottle, was what it feels like to you as minnows. And as you kind of swim in and you look around inside, you can hear first this like stream of bubbles, and as you're getting closer, you hear some voices that are just like, praise the cloud, praise the crowd, praise the crowd, praise the God, I can't say it fast. Praise the cloud, praise the cloud, praise the crowd, praise the cloud. Holy shit, that's hard to say. And they're just like repeating it, like chanting it really quickly, like as fast as they can. And then the bubbles all stop and they go silent. And the bubbles are coming from somewhere in the ship. Would you like to go in further?
Yes.
Okay. As you swim in, you find something that maybe surprised you a little bit. You find a big cloud-shaped rock that's in like the hold of this ship in a bottle. And you see there are a bunch of fish, and they're wearing like dark cloaks with hoods. And as you kind of swim in, they kind of all turn you like, and they eye you like suspiciously. One of them like goes to draw a dagger, and then wait, the high priest. And then all of a sudden, the rock kind of lights up in bright kind of white light, and bubbles start streaming out of it, and the fish start chanting, praise the cloud, praise the cloud, praise the cloud, just over and over as the bubbles stream up.
What is going on here?
And the bubbles kind of, they go for a while, and they don't like respond to you or anything, they just chant praise the cloud as the bubbles stream up. But then the bubbles stop, and because the cloud kind of, the rock no longer is light and becomes just a regular gray cloud-shaped rock. They look at you. Yes, this is the cloud. It brings us bubbles. Praise
I
it.
look at them.
It is through divine majesty that this rock is able to bring us bubbles.
Okay.
It is a holy
mean-
rock.
It looks holy. It is shaped, cloud-shaped.
It has shown us pictures like you with your large whale form.
Interesting. I swim up to this rock.
Okay.
I'm gonna, I don't know, look over this rock.
Okay. Well, as you swim over to it, it lights up. It seems to be doing this on a fairly frequent basis. It lights up again, and as it lights up, it's not just like light shining up from it. It seems to be making a portal, and you see through it into just open air. There's like clouds everywhere. There's a couple of like floating, like earth motes, little pieces of just terrain floating through the sky, and bubbles just start streaming up back past. In the distance, you can see a very large whale kind of flying around.
All right, this
And again, the
seems to
fish
check
go,
out.
praise the cloud, praise the cloud.
Yes, praise the cloud, brother. Are you all originally fish?
They all look at each other. Yes.
Okay. So, it's good that you're praising the cloud. Good that you're
It
here.
brings us the bubbles.
Yes, the bubbles. Look, you all have to start converting people.
They look kind of across to each other. What do we do if they do not want to convert?
Kill them.
They kind of look to each other. And one of them kind of like swims forward, seemingly the leader of this kind of dark cloaked fish cult. We've been throwing them into the cloud.
That works. I mean, you know, there's various methods of forced
What else should we
conversion.
do, great whale?
Oh, you're gonna wanna kill them, maybe, or torture them.
Uh-huh.
Really, you should be able to convert them by teaching them the ways of the cloud, and if they're not responsive to that, then you do things to harm them, threaten them, kill their families.
Just a second. And the cloud lights up again, and they go praise the cloud, and they begin to praise the cloud.
Yes, good.
They seem to pay no attention to you though as the bubbles are happening.
That's
Nijel,
fine.
are you doing anything? Othgarurt, are you doing anything? Or are you just observing this whack fish cult? Like this is definitely a fish cult.
Othgarurt is mentally taking notes about how the conch is apparently a religion about communication, and the cloud is apparently a religion about bubbles.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
This actually seems fairly valid, but go ahead. Okay.
When the bubbles stop, I'm like, so, I mean, bubbles are cool, I guess, but why? Why? I mean, they're a gift from the cloud, so they should be respected, but what's up with the bubbles?
We like the bubbles. They bring little clouds in the water.
I guess.
Look, we don't have
Okay.
a lot down here, all right?
I've gathered. Okay, well, you spread the religion, and I will come back to check in on things from time to time.
Okay. There you go. Time for sacrifice! And two of the fish just kind of go over and grab one of the other fish and start swimming toward the cloud.
Wait, are you sacrificing members that believe in the cloud?
To the cloud. Yes.
Okay, no. You want to sacrifice people that don't believe in the cloud.
He kind of like strokes his fish face, and in the background, the cloud lights up, and then the fish just whoop, huck him through. Oh, too late for that one.
Yeah.
And you see that little minnow just begin to like head over face through this empty void of air.
Yikes. Okay.
Head over tail, actually, is the appropriate one here.
You want to sacrifice heathens, heretics, and the like to the cloud.
Yes.
Because now you're just reducing your numbers.
Kind of looks on. There are fewer of us now. That's correct.
Right. You don't want that.
They kind of look around like this is an earth-shattering idea to them.
You want more. And then you can
Very
be dominant. And then you'll have all the power.
Okay. Meanwhile, outside, Michael,
Yes.
you continue to swim down. Right?
Yes, that is correct.
You swim for like, I mean, do you stay like in sight of the glass bottle with the thing in it, or do you just peace?
I just pieced.
All right, just swim down and down and down, and well, it starts to get a little less lively. There are fewer fish swimming around, fewer structures that they seem to have made out of the various materials that Bucket has seemingly thrown into this barrel. And you see up ahead that it becomes very dark. And you don't have any sort of vision in the dark. You're a fish. But you can always see like just a little ways around you. It's almost like you glow just a little bit, or maybe your scales refract the tiniest bit of light which filters. And you see some sort of large mass just appear in the dark front of you. And it appears that maybe, or rather below you, it's all relative here. It appears to be some kind of bulbous jellyfish that kind of compresses and floats up in your direction. What would you like to do?
I swim back up and away from it.
Okay. I'd like you to roll me an initiative check.
Initiative?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. The jellyfish is going to... I'll roll his initiative. See? He gets... Oh. It's not since he can see it. A 15. So that jellyfish begins to swim up closer and closer to you. And it moves shockingly quickly with its sudden bursts of power because it's so much larger than you. And it gets to a point where its tentacles are now all around you in just 2 single blasts of its jelly form. You find yourself near surrounded in strange glowing tentacles. These little bits of yellow and orange and reds and golds and so shiny you kind of want... Wait, no, that's the fish brain telling you that. Michael, it's your turn. What would you like to try and do?
So I'm completely covered in tentacles, but I'm not being like hurt or anything.
No, they're just all around you. The jellyfish isn't like a, how do you put it?
Like one that stings.
No, he looks like he stings. It's not, it can't control the tentacles. It can just put them around you, and then you have to try, you know, you can try and weasel your way out. Or maybe you get stung.
Or I could try option 3. Sarge rushes in and slashes them with his fins.
That's true, but then Sarge might get stunned by them.
Oh, well, crap.
I mean, it's an option, though. That could certainly, if Sarge does enough damage, he could cut you away out.
You know what? Let's try it, because I don't want to risk moving.
Okay.
19 hit.
All right. With a 19, yeah, absolutely. Sarge swims
12.
forward and slashes for 12, cutting a bunch of the tentacles. I mean, they're not very durable. I need Sarge to roll me a Constitution saving throw, though, as he makes any contact at all. 9.
9.
Oh. So Sarge hits them and sunders many of them, and then freezes up, completely paralyzed. In addition, Sarge is going to take 13 points of acid damage, although that shouldn't have an attack roll. Why I keep throwing. That is just.
So he's stunned, basically.
He's paralyzed. It's worse. It's stunned, except he would be critically hit if anything hits him. For example, sting. But you still have your action. What would you like to do?
I will try to blast a beam of light up into the jellyfish.
Okay. All right. So you hold up your blade and the jellyfish, poof, disappears in its entirety. Is just gone as it is banished to an extra bench somewhere in Miradara, in a prison cell. Like,
in a bucket. It's in a bucket in a prison cell.
A jellyfish about the size of, like, I don't know, a quarter just appears and plops into a bucket. And he's gone. The jellyfish is tough. But it's still very, very dark where you are. And you could swear you saw something else moving in the shadow. Maybe drawn in. The rest of you have just exited the bottle, and you don't see Michael Verity fish. But you do see a blast of light shoot up, and it like hits a random fish and disappears.
I think he's that way.
I think we should hurry over there.
And Euchaunkas, you have thoroughly ensorcelled the. I would say ensorcelled is probably the wrong word. You've educated these cloud worshippers. You're not positive that they actually understand that they're worshiping clouds like the cloud and not this rock that's shaped like a cloud. But if it works out the right way in the end, they're fish. They're still not that smart.
Yeah, I mean, they'll have to be further educated.
You'll have to return at some point. Okay. Do you guys start swimming down?
Yep.
Cool.
Indeed.
You start swimming down, and you can see Michael Verity. Michael, you still have Sarge, who's still paralyzed.
Oh, well, crud. I don't know what. I can't leave him here.
He's just floating in the water.
We could leave him with the clerics of the cloud and allow them to nurse him to health.
Or they would throw him through the rock.
I fin palm.
No, we could leave it with the cleric of the cloud and at least they'd
Face spin.
bucket with him.
Now what do I? So is there any way to? So there's no way to unparalyze Sarge.
You don't know. Right now, he's just still floating there. The rest of you swim down. It's still very, very dark, and I don't think any of you, but maybe Nijel, has any dark vision.
I do have glowing teeth.
Oh, okay. So you open your barracuda-like jaws, and light shines out over the area. It's still super spooky. Once you're outside of that kind of glow of light, it's just inky black. Are you staying near to like the rock side of this bucket, or are you kind of swimming out?
Light attracts predators and prey.
Swimming in the dark may also attract predators.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure anyone that lives in here can see in the dark, so it really doesn't matter.
Of course it matters. There's a good deal of difference between a fish swimming in the darkness and one that's got a spotlight following it.
Besides, we kind of need the light. We need to find this fork so we can bring it up.
Well, you have noticed, even without the shining teeth, you do almost give off some light yourselves. Like I said, the teeniest bit of light refracting through the water kind of catches your scales pretty well. I mean, it doesn't super point you out, but like it gives you a little bit more vision than you normally would in dark. You've got maybe 10 feet of dim light otherwise.
Well, just keep swimming. Swimming, swimming, swimming.
All right. You want to drag Sarge behind you?
Yes, I'm going. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So you drag Sarge down, and after about 10 minutes, Sarge becomes unparalleled. The paralysis seems to wear off, and Sarge seems befuddled, and is not super happy. Sarge doesn't like say anything. You know, normally Sarge is like sovereign, right, saying his thing because that's what a pocket creature does. But he's not doing that. Maybe, Michael, you get the idea because you have this strong connection with Sarge. He's trying to think, am I a new thing because now I am a fish sovereign? He doesn't know. It's like a crisis that he's trying to overcome.
I'll just pat him with the fin. There. We'll get through this. Let's just get with our task at hand. You're still my friend.
And do you have the shiny teeth? Or no? Are you using those or not?
Yes, I am using them so that we can see further.
Okay. As you swim further down, you come across... Oh, there's another jellyfish. You saw it a little bit further ahead this time because of the teeth. And so there's another jellyfish. And there's another. Oh my, there's so many. There's just a sea of jellyfish blubbing their way through the barrel beneath, or through the water beneath. What would you all like to do? They're all about the size of like, hard to say, like a wagon probably. But then they have all these tendrils trailing off for about 20 feet, or from your perspective, 20 feet behind.
I will have Sarge go up to one and attempt to. Does this work on a jellyfish?
You're gonna try and scare the jellyfish away.
Yes, with Sarge.
Okay, Sarge goes over and glares at one of the jellyfish, and the jellyfish will roll a wisdom save.
Wisdom save, DC 15.
Got a 20.
Wow.
Maybe it's just too dumb. Kind of hard to say. Anyone else? Anything else anyone would like to do? I'm treating this like a skill challenge, where you guys will, make some checks, use some features. Like that was a great example. And if you make a certain number of successes before a certain number of failures, you'll kind of get past the jellyfish. Otherwise, you'll run into some complication.
I cast Spirit Guardians.
Okay. All right, we're going right to magic here. Sure. That will definitely be a success as you
blend them.
Yeah, as you blend the jellyfish. The problem is that there's like chunks of like poison stingy like tentacles being swirled around in the water. But we'll worry about that later. I think that's still a success for certain, but it's not a complete like. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't trivialize the engagement for now.
I
It's
think
one success and one failure.
I think an athletics check is in order to try to swim around, to try to maneuver around in a quick fashion.
Sure. Yeah, if you guys would like to make a group athletics check, you can do that. Because you are a group.
Would you guys like to do that?
This sounds like a plan, yes.
I mean, you're all pretty swole boys, so this should be a walk in the park for most of you. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Sarge with a 30.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you guys are easily able to. Euchaunkas, you're like the one that's having the hardest time. Oh, actually, I need you all to roll with disadvantage. Euchaunkas, you're fine. You can keep your 13, but I do need Michael and Nijel to roll again. Othgarurt, we can keep your 25. Jeez. Because you are not fully comfortable in your fish bodies, and this is a physical. You're still fine. Yeah, you guys are able to get another success out of that, easily being able to outswim these creatures. All right, so you have 2 successes now, 1 failure. 1 more success and you're good to go. 1 more failure and you're in tough shape. What would you like to do? What's your third maneuver here to get past these boys?
I'm out of ideas.
Othgarurt would like to make a nature check to see if there's a certain segment of the jellyfish that's okay to touch without risk, or if they're just all around bad things to contact.
Yeah, and I like this a lot because if you fail, this triggers the issue. So it means you touch that bad part, and oh no, I thought this was gonna work. But if you succeed, yeah, I love it. Go ahead, and give me that nature check. Oh no! Othgarurt, you do find like the top parts are pretty safe, but they're also slippery, and the jellyfish go whoosh, like they sloop very quickly and suddenly. And so as you go to like touch the top of one, suddenly it pulls out from under you and wraps around you and almost envelops. As you get pulled under one of these jellyfish. I need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, how far away is Nijel, by the way?
Not within 10 feet. Not with this kind of a situation, I don't think.
10 feet or 10 feet relative to the
It's
fish.
relative. It's relative. This isn't like the Clinton Slaughter murder garbage disposal adventure.
This bucket would be destroyed if this.
Yeah. Would be obliterated. Meanwhile, out in the tavern, the spirit guardians are hurting me! No. With a 20, you're good. You resist the poisonous effect, and are not stung. And you are, however, tangled up within it. What would you all like to do? You see Othgarurt is currently tangled. The rest of you, if you want, could swim past and leave him be. Or you could try and help him, but then you'd all have to probably make another check.
How close to being past the jellyfish are we?
You could just decide to leave Othgarurt and go, and then Othgart's got to fend for himself.
I have a better idea. I will have Sarge headbutt the fish, the jellyfish,
Okay.
and if it hits, it pushes it away.
Well, keep in mind, Sarge will then be subject to the con saving throw as well.
Not if I was gonna have him hit it right on the head, on the top.
Yeah, I think because of the failure there, you found out that, yes, that part is not dangerous, but the thing moves in such a way that there's not a safe way.
Okay, fair enough. I will take the risk then.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack. Oh, yeah, Sarge obliterates this jellyfish, and the chunks of it go out into the oblivion. I do need you to roll me a con saving throw, though, for Sarge.
Does a 12 work?
A 12 does not, unfortunately. As Sarge gets stung again for, oh, that's a bite. That's not what I wanted. Ignore that. The jellyfish stings for 21 acid damage, and Sarge is paralyzed once more. But Othgarurt, you're free. Do you want to just grab Sarge and swim down?
Yeah, I'll just grab him again.
Or, I'm saying, because Othgarurt, you're right there. Arthur, do you just want to grab Sarge and swim down with the rest of the group?
Yeah.
Okay. You swim down past the darkness, or past the jellyfish, and find yourselves once again in relatively calm water. The big piles of rocks that appear now like natural canyons to your left. You're going further and further down, and you can see down below you faint light, like a pinprick in the dark. Small mote of brilliant. What would you like to do?
A mode of what? I could not
Of
hear that
brilliant
part.
white light.
Okay.
It's faint, but it's so pure.
I have a bad
way.
feeling about this, but I do believe that that is a trap.
Probably.
If I remember correctly, there is a fish that leaves a nice pure light like that just to attract people.
I do not think that we need to worry about it.
Can't be having too much luck with that. We've had this one's glowing teeth for a while now, and nothing's come upon us except the jellyfish.
All right. You keep swimming down.
Yep, let's keep swimming. Ignoring the light.
I'd like you to roll me perception checks. Because I imagine you're looking for this fork. Ooh, really good rolls. Oh, except Michelle. Man, all right, you actually succeed. So as you guys are looking around and you see that light down there, and for a minute you're thinking, ah, crap, we have to swim all the way down there. But Euchaunkas, you catch it out of the corner of your eye, refracting the light from Othgarurt's shiny teeth. A tiny hint of brass jammed up in some rocks to your left. It seems like it's in almost like a cave, and it's kind of a little tucked in toward the back. But sure enough, there's a big old brass fork. Huge.
That's the fork.
From your perspective. Absolutely gargantuan.
Let's go get the fork.
Yes.
Wait, we found the fork already?
Yeah, it's over here.
Excellent.
It's a very kind of tight cave. Only like 1 or 2 people could fit in at a time.
Well, I have an idea. So, since it is a tight cave, why don't we try to pull the fork out into the open, so we can all pick it up.
I think I can do that, yes.
'Cause
All right.
my friend
you go.
Sarge could help. If he's not paralyzed anymore by this time.
I think he's still probably out. Do you guys want to wait the extra 5 minutes here and just hope nothing happens? Or do you want to just press on with Sarge currently paralyzed?
I mean, that's up to the party.
Doesn't seem we're in any immediate rush. Let's tie off our cord to the fork and wait for the animated shield to recover.
All right,
Okay.
5 minutes. Sarge, the effect seems to wear off again. And Sarge
Yeah.
is not like being a fish.
Yes.
Being a
Yeah.
fish is stupid.
Pap with a fin. You will be okay.
Sarge
And-
nods in solidarity.
And I want to have Sarge make an athletics check to try to pull the fork out.
It's a ways in. It's like 30 or 40 feet into this crevice-like cave.
Yeah, I want to have him go with Othgarurt or whoever was getting sent down there to help him pull it out.
So you two start heading in there.
Wait,
Yep.
when did we tying a cord off on it while we waited?
Oh, you wanted to go. Okay, so you didn't want to wait for Sarge to go into the cave.
I think what he's saying is while some of
the-
us are waiting, someone else was tying a cord.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what I was asking. Whether you were going to wait for Sarge before going into the cave, or if you were going to head into the cave and leave Sarge paralyzed for the time being. The fork isn't just, you don't just pick it up and you have the fork. It's a big, giant brass fork.
Yeah, we know I don't pick it up. He's saying we're tying something around it.
Yeah, okay, so someone's swimming into it. In that case, Sarge is currently still paralyzed as Othgarurt swims in.
Okay, then.
Okay, Othgarurt, you swim forward into the cage, or into the cave. As you do so, the rest of you see that kind of light, maybe it's gotta be 100 feet down or something, kind of dances around a little bit, and then it goes dark. Othgarurt, you're kind of crawling your way through the cave. You have to use your fins to pull yourself a little bit. You get over to the fork, and it's a massive brass object jammed in here pretty good. You try and get your fins on it to grab at it. Can you roll me an athletics check? Disadvantage underwater. Because you are in a weird fish body. Try and dislodge it, and it's not really budging, and you're not
I have a
entirely
stupid
sure why.
question.
Yeah.
Could Othgarurt expend a rage just long enough to not be at complete disadvantage with his athletics because he knows that he needs
Absolutely
to pry this
can,
out?
if you tell me that the first, before you make fair. Yeah. I'm not gonna give you the. I'll let you. No, I'm not gonna give you this retroactive. But you're trying to get it out, and it's just jammed in there real good. And you see, all of a sudden, all at once, why it's jammed in there. As you see a large crab-like creature crawling over the fork. It almost blended in with the rocks. It has these large, thin pincers, and you see a ferocious crayfish which moves out to attack you. I need you all to roll for initiative. You're not surprised because you got a high perception there, Othgarurt. So, the ferocious crayfish. All right. So first in the initiative, I think actually is who are we missing? No, that's everybody. Is either Euchaunkas or Othgarurt. Which would you who would like to go first?
Go ahead, Othgarurt.
There's a giant crayfish battling you for the fork.
Othgarurt
Or maybe
has
it's a normal crayfish, actually, now that you're thinking about it. Go ahead.
he has a history with crabs underwater, and he
Mhm.
really doesn't like crabs underwater.
I'm really glad you were the one who went in, yeah.
So he's immediately going to enter a frenzied rage and bite at the crayfish repeatedly. Not even gonna try to draw his halberd right now. Just
Yep. Excellent. Go ahead and make your these are frenzied attacks.
yeah, they'll be reckless.
Okay. You lunge forward, biting twice. Unfortunately, missing with them both.
Oh,
As
no.
you, yeah. I guess that's a natural weapon. I don't think I'm going to give you disadvantage on a natural weapon. Yeah, so go ahead. You hit with both of those. It's 20.
Okay.
Wielded weapons are with disadvantage, just like martial or athletic features under them. Crayfish, you hit him for 11. How much damage? 23? 22. You start chowing down on this crayfish. You're biting like chunks out of it, and it's just freaking out. But it's like frenzying a little bit its own right. Like it seems ravenous, and it doesn't go because it's Euchaunkas' turn. Euchaunkas, what would you like to do?
The light disappeared down below.
Yeah, it just blinked out.
Worrying. I will. So only one person can fit in the cave.
No, 2 people can fit. It's just it's a squeeze if you fit 2 people,
Right.
and you'd be at the penalty of the squeezing.
Okay. Well, let's kick things off with a punchy cloud.
Okay, you conjure forth a punchy cloud.
Does a 17 hit?
Oh yeah, with the crayfish.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm pretty sure. Yes. Actually, it's a lot closer than I expected. Yeah, you bludgeon it for a total of 14. Your punchy cloud appears and lays into this creature. It seems like it's in real bad shape.
Yes. Good. Sacred flame.
Excellent, a sacred flame. The ferocious crawfish does not have advantage on its dexterity saving throws. And suffers an additional 9 damage. And Othgarurt, you see kind of steam and bubbles pour out of this crayfish, and it smells and tastes kind of delicious in the water as it cooks and dies. Yet you see more scuttling of more crayfish further within the crevasse. All right. Next in the initiative, we have who is next? Actually, great question for me.
I do believe that's me.
It is in fact Nijel. Nijel, what would you? Oh no, it's not. Nijel.
Actually, yes, it is.
No. You guys feel some sort of like heavy movement in the current around you, as if something large is moving around in the open water, but you can't see it because it must be further away than that. Now it's your turn. Oh, the light appears again below you.
Is the light closer?
No.
With my extended dark vision, do I see anything in the open water?
You get 60 feet.
60 feet.
After that, yeah, there's some kind of large dark shape that just moved. It was blocking the light.
Euchaunkas, the light didn't go out.
It's featureless without color. It just seems like a large black mass.
The light did not go out. It merely was eclipsed. And I can assume I don't have to tell you how large it was for how long that light was eclipsed.
Yeah.
All right. Nijel, what would you like to do? Is your turn?
I will look back into the cave as I will send out my own companion to meet with the punchy claw. A nice dark light javelin appearing and striking one of the crayfish.
All right. Your spiritual weapon strikes forward onto one of the crayfish. We'll definitely hit. Go ahead and give me that damage.
Ignore the radiant, that's my katana thing that I always forget to turn on.
Still a solid hit as your what does the spiritual weapon come into the form as?
It's a large lance that appears in the sort of purplish dark light.
Excellent. All right. As your spiritual lance skewers another crayfish, still alive but injured. We move to the crayfish's turn.
Wait,
Othgarurt?
my action.
Oh, please. I'm so sorry.
I will look out the 60. Wait.
Uh-huh.
Oh shit! It probably can't see me.
Probably only about 40 feet from you, actually.
Oh geez, it's coming in on us.
Yeah.
Wait, no, it's 30. Why do I always think that's 60, not 30? You know what? I will swim towards the large beast.
Okay. You want to swim? You can swim at a speed of 30 feet as a fish. You want to swim right up to it?
I will swim 30 feet towards the great fish.
Cool. All right. That's the end of
And
your...
I will cast fear on it.
Oh. Whoa. Oh, whoa. I'm gonna keep...
Whoa, what's this?
All right. As you
DC
swim up
16
to it,
was.
you can see what this creature is. It appears to be a gigantic turtle, or maybe a normal-sized turtle. It's a 23.
Oh god, it's so wise.
As you try to spook this big turtle with your fear, the turtle just kind of looks up at you. It's got this big, snapping turtle beak, and it looks at you hungrily. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn, Nijel?
That's it.
All right. We move to the crayfish. The crayfish spend their whole turn moving forward because that's how they have to do that. And one new crayfish joins the fray, contesting you for the fork, Othgarurt. All right. We are on to Michael Verity's turn. Michael, what would you like to do? Well, first, can start his turn by rolling me a new con save.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Sarge resists the effects of the poison and is no longer paralyzed. And actually, now that you've seen the turtle, I can put on the battling music.
So there's a turtle that looks like it's going to eat Nijel.
Yeah, it looks like it. It doesn't look like super aggressive. It's just lazily swimming around. But now it's looking up toward Nijel and its neck's kind of stretching out, and it's like,
I think I'm going to have Sarge go up. Wait, can I? Okay, actually no. Better idea. Can I have Sarge go? Like, I know this might be weird.
Yep.
But you said there's multiple crayfish in there.
Yeah, there's a bunch deep in these kind of crevices and ravines. And you can hear the scuttling as more of them are trying to get out.
I know this is going to sound weird, but I want Sarge to squeeze in there with Othgarurt.
Okay. Do you want me to squeeze past Othgarurt? Or stay behind him?
I want him to squeeze a little bit past Othgarurt because I need him to do something important.
Okay.
And for my action, I'm going to have him use his action to do this.
A shadow pulse. A wave of necrotic energy casts out from Sarge.
Yeah, and so I don't know how many of those crayfish that I'm going to hit.
There's plenty of crayfish.
But it's a DC 15 con save.
They have a +1, so they gotta roll 14 or higher.
Yep.
2 of them succeed. That is pretty monstrous.
Even then, they still take half of that. So
let me just go ahead and add that right away to them. So how much is it? 17?
yeah, so that's 17. Yeah, I need to calculate something.
No, I got it. Because half of that's gonna be 8. All right. That's 3 of them, and then the other ones are at 17 damage. Excellent. So you blast a bunch of these giant crayfish. Anything else you'd like to do? Oh, you also regain a ludicrous amount of hit points.
I'm pretty sure that just fully heals them.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to make calculations. Yeah, that fully heals them. So that other than that, I'm going to try to swim I'm going to swim towards Nijel, but I'm going to stay behind him.
Okay. So you want to swim right up next to Nijel?
Behind him.
Okay. So maybe like 5 feet back, 10 feet back?
Yep. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, this turtle is gargantuan compared to you. Like, if you were normal size, this thing would probably be 40 feet long. So big. Which is why it just kind of seemed like the light went out. All right, we move to the top of the initiative. Othgarurt, what would you like to do? There's another crayfish now challenging you with its big claws.
Othgarurt will savagely bite into this crayfish again, continuing his reckless attacks.
Alrighty. Go ahead, rip. That'll hit. Oh, that one won't. No way to cut it. Alright, 9 points.
And he'll, instead of doing a normal bonus action attack, he'll use his hungry bite on it.
Oh, get that temp HP. Yep, you nail him. For another 9. Nice. Oh, and you finish off that crayfish. Another crayfish bites the dust as you hungrily tear into it. The crayfish, hoping for an easy meal, became the meal itself. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Othgarurt?
No, he's gonna stay where he is and just take them on as they approach him.
Excellent. All right. You realize that applies in the wrong order. All right. You see another crayfish on the way up, but it's, still like... next in the initiative is Euchaunkas. You see this really freaking big turtle.
Okay. Wait, do I? Is Nijel lighting it up?
Ooh, you don't darkish, do you?
No.
Ooh, I think you do still. Barely.
Well, let's just make sure of it. I take out my jar of light as a bonus action.
Super shitloads of light.
40 feet of sunlight, and then an additional, and then dim sunlight.
All of the vampire squids that were swimming around nearby burned to ash.
Mm-hmm. It's really bright. I see the turtle.
Yeah.
I think I can also see the source of the light, because this is 80 feet of...
80 feet? You barely see the giant anglerfish.
Mm-hmm.
I was totally right on it was a fish.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Don't go near that.
It's smaller than the turtle, but not by much.
I will... Where's the turtle? It's away from land.
It's 40 feet away from you, 10 feet away from Nijel, 15 feet away from Michael. And Michael and Nijel are both between you and the turtle.
Okay, and how wide is the space down here? It's a weird question.
Open water. Huge. You're
Okay.
asking if you could conjure a lightning storm? Yes, you could if you like.
That's not what I'm asking.
Oh.
It's very wide. Okay, well,
I mean, yes, huge.
is the turtle like above the anglerfish?
Yeah.
Great.
By
Okay.
About
What?
40 feet.
Okay, great. I'm gonna control water.
Oh, yikes. How the fuck is this gonna work? Up to 100 feet each side. Alright.
There's an air
What?
pocket where that turtle and anglerfish are.
You cause the water 20 feet. You use a large body of water. Wave. Which one are you using?
Part water.
Yeah. I'm not sure that that works in that way underwater.
I have no reason to believe it wouldn't. I used it against Bartholomew in that way.
Yeah. Blue market French. Yeah, well, the issue I have is I just don't see why water wouldn't just fall from, like, above where you parted the other water.
Walls.
That's where I'm a little confused.
I think it just makes a hole.
Just a void.
Yeah.
Vacuum.
Yeah, sure. The turtle plops down.
Onto the anglerfish? Does he hit him?
No, he doesn't hit him. He's not blocking him anymore.
Okay.
Roll me D100. On 95 or higher, I'll give it to you. Alright, he doesn't hit him. He just sploosh falls down.
Mhm.
The huge splash. You feel the vibration. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. We move to the turtle. The turtle is now pissed. It was not angry before. It was just going to grab Nijel and swim away. But now the turtle is very mad.
And about 100 feet away.
That would have been the end of Nijel. Holy shit. Just grab him and then swim away. Yeah, he's going to instead swim over and then up to the side. I mean, he only gets like 20 feet up relative to where you are now, I think. And he's gonna... That put him 60 feet away from you. So yeah, oh no, it'd bring him 60 feet away from the top, so he's not close to anyone. Alright, he's gonna double move and swim higher up. So he's now swimming up the side of this trench that you've created, and he is 60 feet up the side, I think, is how that works. Right? Yeah. Alright, the next in the initiative is Nijel. Nijel, would you like to do?
I will once again have my spiritual weapon bop the next crayfish.
Okay. You bop the next crayfish for this is a very expertly moved session. 12 points. All right. He is damaged. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
And how far away was the dragon turtle?
The dragon turtle is now 50 feet from you. Because it double moved to try and get back. Swims like a
Okay.
hungry turtle. What's the movement, Michelle?
Trying to calculate in my mind if I actually have enough movement to flash this thing the spooky and also force it to double move without eating me next.
Who knows?
Who knows indeed. Wait, he has dashed up, right?
Yeah, he dashed.
Excellent. I will swim down and flash the fear.
The what? Oh, you just cast another spell of fear. He gets 15.
Fails as he is
Ooh.
frightened, drops his weapon, and is compelled to spend his movement and such fleeing.
Oh. Okay. All right, the turtle's very scared of you. Anything else you'd like
seeing the fear sit in, I will just ominously swim 10 feet closer.
Nijel kind of doing his thing, just being the menacing fish that he is. Menacing fish. Anyway, okay, in that case, the crayfish are gonna go. The crayfish, one of them is actually close enough to attack you now, isn't it, Othgarurt? I think you guys didn't kill that one.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right. This crayfish gets up to you guys, and he's going to attack. Well, he's going to attack twice. One of them is going at against you, Othgarurt, and the other one is going at
Sarge.
Sarge. Yeah. So Othgarurt, an 11. The crayfish is attacking recklessly, and Sarge, a 23.
He will only take half of that.
Sarge, you are grappled by the claw. The other one is harmlessly bashed away. All right, we're done with that round. Michael, it's your turn.
Sarge doesn't have an AC greater than 12.
His AC is 17.
Fair enough.
So even if it wasn't with advantage, that 20 would still hit. But regardless, he takes half damage. So I'm going to have Sarge try to escape with an athletics check, obviously.
Sure.
Actually, he guarantees it because his athletics is plus 12.
So Sarge uses his action to just pry open the claws.
Yep, pretty much. There's just you can't contain him with that. I don't think I pretty much used my action to do that, so I don't know. I don't think.
Well, Sarge used his action to do that, right?
Yeah, true. True.
I think it only takes your action if he attacks. I might be wrong.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm going to. I can't swim in there because it's already crowded in there as it is, but I just decide to keep watch over the entrance of the cave as I have Sarge just literally. Okay, weird question. Since the blades are part of Sarge's body, would this impose disadvantage since they're underwater?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Okay. We move then. If you're gonna just kind of. Sarge attacks. Okay.
Yeah, that's.
I'm sorry. I misunderstood what you're saying. No, his natural weapons are fine. Those are normal.
Oh, so would a 15 hit?
Yes.
So
Sorry, I
that's
misunderstood
17.
what you were asking.
So that would be 17 slashing.
All right, that crayfish is dead.
Yay! End my turn now.
All right. Othgarurt, all the crayfish in front of you are dead already. A rare turn of events.
Is there any? There's no more crayfish at all?
There are 4 more crayfish deeper into the ravine, but they're looking a little hesitant at this point.
I've been forgetting something because I'm still very new to using it. How many rounds of combat have gone by since we started?
3? Oh, you've been tracking. You forgot to track your what do we call that? Is it wrath? Yes.
Yeah.
You are so wrathful. You're 3 times wrath.
In that case, Othgarurt is going to swim up towards the remaining crayfish
Okay,
and
you're gonna
recklessly
quickly pull yourself deeper into the ravine, past the fork.
Yeah. He's gonna recklessly attack the first one, and if he tears it apart, he'll move on to attacking the second one and so on.
Pretty kind of durable looking crayfish.
He's also expending all 3 wrath on the first one.
Oh, okay. Maybe it won't be a durable looking crayfish. Go ahead, make your attack.
Well, that's
God!
No!
That's
Double
lovely.
crit fail.
Othgarurt, my boy. Is it only when you hit, or is it when you crit? Or I mean, sorry, when you attack.
It's when I hit, I think. Let me double check.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's when you hit. So we'll use it on the next one. Go ahead, you hit with the other 2.
All right. I need to read the.
Don't worry about it. We'll just assume it goes to the guy. I'm just trying to move things along as much as I can.
I understand.
I have done bad on time because I am a bad boy. I am a bad dungeon master.
Hap. There, Jeremy,
That
you're
being
good.
said, you do tear that crayfish apart with the third hit.
Excellent.
Only barely overkilling it. Only 3 damage lost. Pretty good. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I think that's everything I can do. I'm just like,
Ferocious fish. Imagine from the crayfish's perspective. They see this fish like crawling into their cave, just biting them apart with these horrible alligator teeth. All right. We move to Euchaunkas then. Euchaunkas, this turtle. He's a pushover. And what would you like to do?
He's fleeing, right? Like he's
Oh yeah,
gonna-
he's gonna bail. Baby.
Alright. Great.
Baby turtles. Oh,
Let me see something. Can I reuse redirect flow to essentially use some sort, or maybe either a help action or reduce whatever DC it's going to take to remove the fork from the cave.
I don't think the control water affects that same area. You picked, right?
What?
Because you would have had to have parted all the water. That's what the effect does.
Yeah.
So I assume you didn't part the water where you were. You
Correct.
parted the water like 40 feet below you, where the.
Can I not choose a new location?
I don't believe you can.
And I just want to say, even if you part the water, us as
Yeah.
fish can't survive out.
I'm not
the
trying
water.
to park the water.
Yeah, I
Trying-
see what you're saying. That you want to see if you can use redirect flow to. Yeah, I think because you can do you can control flow in that area, and that body of water connects to the larger body of water. I think I'll let you roll probably a spellcasting ability check, like a wisdom ability check, to pull it off. Absolutely, yeah. And so as you're moving the flow, you're almost kind of churning it a little bit, and you all feel like the slight pull of water, almost like a suction. You're able to resist against it yourselves, but Othgarurt, you gotta hold on as it's just it's sucking you out a little bit of the out of the little cavern you're in. But the fork dislodges and is now just kind of laying in the crevasse.
if I can feel the fork being pulled away, I'm not going to resist getting pulled back as well.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you two both kind of get pulled out a little bit. You and the fork. You two. All right. The turtle flee in terror.
Punchy Glad smacks a crayfish.
Okay. You can just go ahead and give me the damage for that. I'll put them on the crayfish. The 3 remaining crayfish are not going to attack you anymore because they're horrified. You're monsters. You've murdered more than half of them. I say murdered, but defended.
Othgarurt hates crabs. That's murder.
Okay, it's murder for Othgarurt. Nijel, it's your move. The turtle has fled 80 feet down, just past the anglerfish, who does not attack of opportunity the turtle. Weirdly enough.
That's
Actually,
concerning.
the anglerfish fled, actually, probably once it was in the light. It just bailed.
As the turtle flees, I will have my spiritual weapon wield itself spirit.
Okay. 13's not going to hit.
Oof. And, as far as I know, there are only crayfish left, so I'm just gonna give chase to the turtle. You said he was 80 feet away?
Yeah.
That is such an unfortunate amount of distance. 70 I could deal with, but man. Yeah, I'll just give chase 60 feet after the turtle.
Alrighty. The crayfish don't attack you anymore. They don't want to fight and they don't want to die. Michael, your turn. You want to just grab the fork? You can just grab it.
I have both me and Sarge grab the fork. Do we need an athletics check for this?
No, once you grab the fork, it shrinks down to a fork size.
For a fish.
Yeah, it's a magic fork.
Yay! I got the fork. Now, how do we get out of this?
Shrug emoji.
I just look very confused now as I hold this tiny fork in my fin. Okay, I'm just getting my turn because I don't know what to do.
All right. As we move to the kind of next round in the initiative, Euchaunkas, are you giving chase to the turtle at all?
No.
So, the turtle goes before Nijel goes next, and the turtle has decided that this is not worth it and just swims away. It's a normal turtle, so it doesn't like being spelled at, like magicked at, and attacked, so he's just gonna peace out. The turtle swims another 80 feet from you, Nijel, deciding to find a different meal this day.
Feeling the hopelessness of it finally surrendering and truly fleeing of its own accord, not just my magic, I will go back up.
Excellent. You all regroup around Michael, who now has the fork. Othgarurt, you feel very full. You ate a lot of crayfish. Like a lot of crayfish. And unsure, really, of how to get back out, you begin to swim back upward. After some time, you depart the dark abyss of the barrel and find your way back up to the regular area where all the little fish swim around. Maybe you harangue some of the fish or hang out a little bit, but in the end, you're really unsure how you're going to, well, how you're going to get out. Eventually, one of you decides to just swim up and try and leap out of the top. And whomever that is comes splashing out onto the floor of Bucket's spare back room, transformed back into their normal selves. And each and every one of you do this one after another and find yourselves forks in hand outside of the barrel.
Here's your fork. Well, he has your fork.
You hear the door kind of, you hear the lock of the key turn the lock, and the door, oh hey, you're back!
Yes, I
Yes.
got you the
Oh, the
fork.
fork!
You may eat your
Lumbers
spaghetti
forward,
now.
And Bucket grabs the fork. I'm so hungry! He turns and just runs back. You hear the sound of like shoveling food in the other room.
You know, Euchaunkas, if you stole that barrel, it would make an excellent prison for heretics.
I don't like it.
And so,
You have a good
mission
point, but
completed.
I can just send them here.
Bucket requests that you give Bartholomew his best, and you make your way out of the Leaky Bucket. The tavern opens, and many of the adventurers pour in, waiting to hear the nearest gossip and rumors of monsters nearby. And you've all completed this adventure. You have all earned your requisite, 300 Bartholomew bucks at your level. And some of you gain experience because the others of you can't because you have too much of it. At cap. But congratulations, guys! You have vanquished that dragon turtle.
Or
Excellent.
more like just scared it off, but
I don't know,
Yeah.
man. That thing was out of commission for a while. Well done.
Come now, breaking a dragon's will is even better than slaying it.
Well, it might have just been a regular baby turtle. It's kind of hard to tell. But I digress. Thank you guys for playing, and thank you everyone for watching. Farful, that's Euchaunkas. Thank you for your subscription, by the way. I'm not sure I mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. Stay tuned for Game 3, a fabled battle. We'll see you all shortly.